Is your Nintendo Switch not powering on like this one? Today I'm going to walk you through the process of troubleshooting it. The first thing we always want to check is the port, and in this case the port looks reasonably healthy. It's solid, there's nothing moving that shouldn't be. The centerpiece should be solid and the shield piece should be solid. I think it's safe to stick some power to this and see what's going on. The first test I'm going to perform is with my benchtop PSU using my adapter cable. I just want to watch the amp meter on PSU channel 1 and see what it's drawing. Well, it appears we are charging. Let me plug in the OEM charger and see if we are getting our expected voltages. And it appears we are charging. We'll come back when it's booted up just to test and make sure. And strangely it has stopped working. I went to switch it back to the PSU just so I could monitor it through a PSU, and we are now pulling 0. So we're going to pull it apart, at least enough to do some testing, and go from there. We're disassembled enough to begin our testing, and we're going to begin our testing around the M92T36. The first capacitor we're going to test is the one that is attached to Pi 3 USB, which is on the back of the board through the M92T36. And it seems to be okay. Let's check our other cap. Lines we're worried about are the lines going to the chip. In the case of capacitors, one side will always be ground. This side, in this case. The line going to the chip is typically the side you do not want to be shorted to ground or have a pathway to ground. The only exception is this capacitor here, which has 2 lines going to the chip. In that case, one side will always be ground. Okay, let's continue our testing. Now we're going to test our invincible fuse and see if it's still being invincible. And it is. So let's test our test pads. None of these should have a pathway to ground. If they do, it's typically an M92T36 issue. Oh, I have seen one case where it was actually something we couldn't trace down. Let's check our BQ24193. Make sure we do not have a short on this coil. We do not, but we do want continuity through the coil. And in the case of BQ24183, there's multiple capacitors with multiple lines going to the chip, and same rules apply. Only one side should be ground. Things seems to be okay, so why are we not getting power? As I see no evidence of liquid or anything else, I'm going to plug power back up and just see if we can get anything to happen here. Nothing at all. It's time to check the Joy-Cons to see if there's something shorting our system out. We look okay there, and we look okay there. I don't think anything is shorting the system out Joy-Con wise, so let's disassemble and go from there. Let's continue our investigation here. Now I have the board out of the housing. There's nothing else attached to it. I want to see what it's doing out of the housing. We had a momentary recognition, but that was about it. Well, we're still getting flat 0. Let's look around if we see anything out of sorts. Gas gauge. Let's have a little action. Let's measure around our Pi 3 USB. First capacitor we're going to test is this big capacitor, and the side we don't want short to ground. The same as M92T36 is the side going to the chip, and this appears to be fine. Let's check our filters. Okay. Okay, they appear to be good. Make sure they're not getting continuity side to side. If they're getting continuity side to side, something is shorted together, and that is not good. Okay, and now I want to check and make sure we don't have any lines shorted to ground. We know we don't have any on the other side through the test pads. And we do not. Okay, so I'm more and more suspecting this gas gauge over here. See anything shorted. So I think we're going to go after the gas gauge and hope that solves our issue. As I don't have these chips in stock, I'm going to pull it off a donor board. But while we're setting up to do that, I will throw up my expected temperatures for this job. These temperatures are brought to you by the Amazon Associate, links in the description. If you head to my video description and click on one of these links and buy any of this equipment, or if you buy anything during that session, a small portion of that purchase will go to supporting the channel. And I greatly appreciate you. It won't cost you an extra dime. Alright, my first task is going to be to pull this one off the donor board intact. And I would like to get as clean a pull as possible. These chips are so small you don't typically have to reball them. Typically get them to sit in place fine as long as you can get a clean pull. That's pretty clean. Pull our patient. I'm going to do a gentle wicking here. Be able to sit our chip down flat. Should be adequate. That will work. Let's grab our donor and get him in the right orientation. I'm going to do this first part without flux. We're going to drop down to 20%. What I'm looking for here is just a tack down. Need a ball or two to tack down. Alright, let's see if we can get it to flow into place. If not, we may have to pull it again. There it went. Cooling it off using the fume extractor. Let's see if anything's happening with our power. We're still getting 0. Straight zeros. I'm going to try our modified iPhone power squid. Not a thing. Curious. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, something's happening and it looks like it's booting now. Getting more suspicious about this port every second. Apparently I didn't record it. I changed the M92T36. We are still not getting, as you can see on screen, any behavior that I would be expecting here. So I want to do some voltage checking. Could be our BQ. Not seeing we're getting anything to the battery though. EQ can cause 0 amp. Not entirely sure how much you are going to learn from this one because I'm basically having to blindly troubleshoot this one. Let's see if anything different happens. Not a thing. We're still not getting voltage to the battery. Oh, wait a minute. We're charging. It's booting. What just happened? I hope this video is being helpful to you in your repair journey. Just a reminder, if this is something beyond what you want to try yourself, I do offer these services. Just head over to micromage.repair, click free quote, fill out the form, and I'll get back to you personally. See if we're getting something intermittent again, or if we're actually functioning again. PSU channel 2 on the right. That sure looks like it's booting to me. See if we're displaying anything. We are. We're docking. Okay. Appears to be working again. Next step is to put it back in the housing and see if we can get it to boot up under its own power. Hopefully, everything will work out. Check our progress. Oh, we're still not charged. Been charging and sitting for a while. It actually turned on for a while, too. We're charging the battery. I'll come back once it takes a bit of a charge. Maybe it's a little too low for the switch. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Let's see if we can get some charging going here through the switch. Could be false charging. Not even showing that it's taking a charge. Yeah, it's not even recognizing the charging. We're not drawing amps. We're back to exactly where we started. You know the switch works, but we're not charging. Recognize it for a second. I think we definitely have a port problem. It's a sly one though. Well, I'm holding it at a tight angle and now it's charging. Okay. Nice clean pull. Let's take a ball of Kester 44 solder on our tip, and we're just going to run that ball over these pads. Put another ball of solder on our tip. Glide across these pins. Okay, getting some wetting now. Okay, I'll hold it down. Put a ball of solder on our tip, facilitate things getting started, and we'll feed in a healthy amount into these. And that there's some excellent feed through. Okay, let's check and see if this thing's making any sense now. Okay, that seems normal. Let it reset and boot. Okay, that looks good. It's docking. Okay, normal. Fast charging. Now normal fast charging on both sides. Put it back in the housing and see if we're still having a problem. Back together on its battery. Okay. Reboot. I want to see it fast charging. Okay, it is showing that it's taking a charge. Flip it to the other side, and we're fast charging on both sides. I'm going to let it charge for a little while. Been charging for a while, and it looks like we're up to about 23%. Everything's charging normally. We are now on the USB meter right down there. Was this a sneaky port the whole time? Excellent. Let's plug it back in, make sure it's charging. Yep. Unfortunately, I don't know how much you could actually learn from this video. I had no great troubleshooting tips on this one. But the gas gauge was definitely suspicious. But the rest of this could have been caused by just the port. I replaced everything except the port, practically. Make sure we're getting internet. Excellent. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click on that one there, and I'll see you there.